talked about it and hovered around, and we got a breakout retest and away it fell. Now it has fallen quite a lot for us. We got in this at 1.41. Now where you going to go now? Well, it's as low as for 12 years. All right, so you have to go all the way back to yes, 89 or something like that. Um, Now, the Aussie dollar we're seeing getting stronger. The euro, we're going to come to the euro dollar in a little while, but that's hovering around. If that gets weaker, then this pair is really going to fall if the Aussie dollar is getting stronger, because this is a cross pair of the two. Now, if you're not in this, you'll need a pullback to 139.60 to short. 139.60 is around here, and we can see that we've got these areas there, and then that pullback to around there would be good if we got it. Or else what you are going to do, what you're going to do is you're going to fib this move down. Let's say for instance it started to retrace there, and then you're going to look for a fib level. Now 38.2 is 139.57, so that's 3 pips away from 139.60. So that is an area also, if it pulled back from here, that would be looking, and then should it break 139.57, you're looking at 1.4043, which is the 50. And we know this pair likes the 50 and it likes the 38.2. So those are the two levels you need. You're too near the bottom. You need a pullback if you're going to get in short here. Now, the next line in the sand on this move down is 133. So you watch that level if you're in short. Should that break, then you could see this falling all the way to 127. And if you're holding it a little bit for these longer trades, and you're with me a while and you're starting to hold your trades longer, then this is a nice trade as well, along with the Euro Swiss. And there's some nice trades there that we're getting. Now the Aussie Swiss, it's not a pair that we trade a lot, but if Rand sent in that stuff to me, which was great, and this was one of the pairs on it. Now we don't trade a lot because a lot of brokers have too big a spread on it. Spread can be 10, 12, 13, 14 pips. Some brokers will give you a 5, 6 pip spread, which isn't too bad. Now we can see here on the daily, if we go to the weekly, you can see it even more. The weekly, where we are on it. If we go to the daily, you can see on the daily, we got this bottom trend line here and price just bouncing off it. And then the top one here needs to come down a little bit as well. That's a bit too high. So let's bring this out a little bit, and we can bring that down there on the daily. Because when you move these, when you change time frames, the lines move. So let's click this up. Whoops, and you can see that pennant that we're in. So what you want to do, you want to wait for a breakout on the daily of this pennant. All right. Now you want to wait for it, so you can see it spiked off it there. All right. Now that level is 95. So we normally don't look at this pairs, and I've said why. All right. Now I am favouring a breakout to the long side here. It'll be around the 95 area you're going to be looking. Your target could be 1.000. Could be. So be patient and wait for a breakout. It may also reverse down here, but I wouldn't take the short. We got the 200, the 89, the 55 is there, the 365 is there, the 21 is there. We're having an 821 cross as well at the moment. So I'm favouring a break to the outside. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait, and price will come up, and you're going to wait for it to pull back, and that will be your entry, and then you're going to long it. Alright, and that's what you're going to do with this. Alright, the US dollar CAD. Let's go to the US dollar CAD. Now, it bounced right off 103.00 on Friday. I explained last week that would be support, and for further move short, we needed a break below 103.00. I'm just getting the CAD up here, guys. You see it on a weekly here. We'll come back to that in a second. Now, we'll go to the daily first. We'll come back to the weekly. Now, for further shorts, we do need a break below 103.00, and you can see how big this level is, and you can see it all there, and you can see it all there and there. I mean, I could go right back on this. So watch that level. For further shorts, you need to close below that. Now, it may come right back up, and 104.71 is, if it decides to go north, is the big line in the sand. It's the 200 EMA, and it's a confluence area with this trend line here. And I know we had this fake out there, but We still have not tested there. Now I'm not interested in long in this. I'll see how price reacts at that level there. Should it go up there? I either want to break below here, or I want to see how price reacts at that level there. If we get a break below 10300, which is here, then we are targeting 10175. Now during the summer, as you remember in August, start of August, we were coming down and we were saying to watch this level. We had the pin bar reversal then, and then we longed it, and then it went all the way up from 10175 to 10661. And there you had the double top, and then you had all this previous resistance here, so you knew why it was going to be like that. And then it's falling away. So the next line in the sand is this. Now it may only get down to 10217, which is this trend line here. So this is a bit messy here, but the Bollinger Bands are opening, the stocks are returning back down. So this is all signs that this could go further down. If we break 10175, then we're looking at 1.00000. Right, the Euro CAD, I said stay out on Friday. I said if you weren't in this with us last week on the short, I said leave it alone on Friday. I told you that we could take profit taking, and we were due a little bit of a pullback here. And what happened? We got an indecision candle. It went up, it came down, and it ended up indecision. So now I would leave this alone also tomorrow. If you were short with me here, then you were also targeting 1.26. It may go to 1.25. Right, we are below all the EMAs. All right, there's nothing down here as well. It's a free sky. So tomorrow we will see obviously 132.16. If we get back up to there and you get a reversal pattern on the hourly or the 4 hourly, that is where you're going to look to short 132.16. It may spike up above it and come back down, but that is going to be the next line in the sand, and a nice good reversal pattern of 132.16 may be good enough tomorrow. If you're a little bit doubtful, you can stay out. Now don't remember the CAD has bounced off 10300 and the euro is hanging around, right? So this is the cross pair of those two pairs, so watch that. The pound dollar. Okay, we're still in this tight range here. All right, we are still in the tight range. The best thing you can do is stay out and wait for it to break. All right, this is it on the daily. Now we've got all these EMAs, right? Look at them. They're all here. They're all there. All right. Now EMAs are just moving support and resistance, and that's all trading is. But look at 153.32. Look at all that support. It's huge. Now we can see that pennant on the daily as well. Should we get a break, a close below 153.32, you look for a pullback to short it. But you're going to be very careful, because 153 is 32 pips below, and you got 1250 as well. So you're going to have this area here is 151.91. So that's obviously you can round up to 152. You're going to have support there too. 152.50 is the top of this area, and 152 is the top of that area. So you're going to have support and you're going to have support there. So I am favouring a downside here, but I want to wait. We stand aside and we wait for a break. Now remember, the longer that all this goes on, the more explosive the move. All right, the more explosive the move will be. Now this could bounce all the way up. It could do whatever it wants, but just sit tight and you wait for the breakout. Okay, the euro dollar also need this to break one way or another. 126.979 is support. Then the next line in the sand is 126 here. All right, now remember, all summer we've been playing this off whole numbers. We've been playing off 126, 127, 128, 129. You can see this here, 130. We've been playing just these ranges all summer. Now the big boys are back. These are going to break. Now I am favouring a downside, but our stochastics looks like they're turning. So we've got to be careful and we wait. Now should we get a daily close below 126.79 and a retest, you can short it to 126. 126 is the next big line in the sand. A close below 126, you wait for a pullback, and then you can get in short. And this here is all free sky. There's nothing here. Only thing you got to watch out is support and resistance, and you can see that all that support and resistance that we would have. Okay, so sit tight and wait for the breakout. On the weekly, the Bollinger Bands still have not yet opened. All right, and if you're waiting for a 4 hour, then be careful, because on a 4 hour, you got down here is 126.42 is your line in the sand there. All right, but this is a very bearish pattern on the 4 hour. All these wicks off 127 and all the EMAs above is also signaling further downside. Now the dollar Swiss, this may bounce. If this gets back up here to 103.90, I may be interested in shorting it there for further moves down. I'd be very careful though. Alright, so when it comes back up, I'd wait for a reversal pattern. I wouldn't have an order pending, so be very careful. And the dollar yen, I have absolutely no interest in this pair. It's just hovering and bouncing along 83.58. If it gets back up to 85, which is that area there, and you can see here it's all that area. It was our line here for where we got some longs, as you can see. We've got it back up there. I may be interested in taking a short there at 85. So that's it. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. That's what I'm looking for this week, and obviously I will be posting the figures for the news trades that we do. That system is working very, very well. I'll be posting them in our live chat, or I'll be adding them to the Outlook when I put it, the written Outlook when I put it up live on the site. And I will speak to you later. All right, so take care. Thanks. Bye.